We thank Auntie Lydia for taking us to God in a word of prayer. And now, I have the singular pleasure to introduce to you the chief fundraiser, the person who will be piloting this fundraiser. He is a handsome guy. Single sisters, please don't look at him because he's married. He's wearing the latest Italian suit. That costed him just 600 euros. He used to be the president of Mecca DC. He's the national president for UpperBanyangP Group. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. UpperBanyangP II.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I'm not going to start without introducing a beautiful lady who is going to walk beside me this evening, as we are very determined with her to leave this place today with about $30,000. Give it up! I mean, if you look at the project, when you have leadership that is focused and they pick up a project that is worthy of this nature, it is our obligation to come together, put our hands together, and make that a success. Are we ready to go? Yes. Are we ready for this fundraiser? Yes. I'm not feeling you. People are looking as if we're about to eat communion. I have heard so many verses here. We are just at the Genesis. This is the beginning. So please, give it up to Mrs. Mirabel Tambe, who is going to be my co-fundraiser tonight. And as you can see, as beautiful as she is, she's from Bachontai village. Those are my in-laws. So we're going to, I know he's married to UpperBanyangP II. That's why I'm doing this fundraiser. So we're going to move quickly. Again, I want to humbly apologize for the late start. As the introducer rightly said, we always have the black man time. But this night is going to go till 6 a.m. in the morning. As we're going to begin this fundraiser, please, I would crave your indulgence to keep your eyes on the projector. As we move forward, you will be seeing how much we are raising this evening. And I am very hopeful that before we leave here, we are going to hit that target of $30,000. Are you with me? Yes. Are you with me? Yes. I decided to really take up this master of ceremony this evening because I strongly believe in this cause, and I not only agreed to do it, but I insisted that I wanted to talk with the principal of GHS Tinto, because I wanted to be very sure that what we are doing here is going to go a long way to help the people in that region. So I did talk to the principal of GS Tinto, and I think his plea was for us that have the opportunity here in the diaspora to do something for our young ones that are struggling to see the light of day. So as you donate this evening, put in mind that your donations are going to go a long way in realizing these dreams for the young students in GHS Tinto. And this is going to get a ripple effect, not only to the students. It's going to have an economic impact in the region. Because once we get up that laboratory, it's going to get students to come to that region. Our brothers, our aunties, our nephews will have an opportunity to cook food, sell to these students. We are going to get a project that is going to get a ripple effect in the UpperBanyang subdivision. Ogbagda Maryland, oye! Ogbagda Maryland, oye! Can we give a hand of applause to the coordinators of this project? So we're going to move quickly with the introduction of the very VIPs, our high table, and I'm going to start with the chairman, who most of us that have been in this community for a while do know him personally. He's a man of generosity, a man that has given his selfless services to our parents, to our brothers, to our kids, and he did humbly accept when we offered him this position, because as an intellectual and an elite from that region, he looked at this project, and this project is like none other that we have done within this community. It's very hard to get Dr. Joseph Nkwanyo to accept to chair an occasion. But this goes to demonstrate that he has the belief that this project is going to succeed. Because a person of his caliber will not associate with a project that he doesn't believe in. So thank you, Dr. Joseph Nkwanyo and your very beautiful wife for accepting to chair this occasion. Let's give it up to the chairman of this occasion. Sitting right beside Dr. Joseph Nkwanyo and the beautiful wife is our own father here in the community, and he is presently the president of the Yumojok family group. This is another humble servant within our community culturally. He's a man of high pedigree. He's somebody that is unquestionably the custodian of the manufacture here in the diaspora. I am humbled to introduce to you Seseku Ojong Oro, president of Bagda of the Yumojok subdivision. Also on the high table, we have another custodian of our great culture and a founding member of Bagda, Maryland, in the person of Seseku Akwo Elias. Let's give it a round of applause. We have a very distinguished gentleman who is a philanthropist, who had done a lot of great work within our community and has had missions to Cameroon to help our mothers, our sisters, and a whole lot of people. I am glad and honored to introduce to you Mr. Richard Backup. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming, for answering this call of the kids in Tinto and the General UpperBanyang subdivision. They have cried. Those cries have been transmitted to us, by their very principal. After talking to him, I am very glad that you people have answered the call. Whatever you're going to donate today is going to go a long way in making sure that we realize this dream. It is an ongoing project, so we probably are going to be coming back to some of you because we are building a relationship, and we're going to come back and give you an update and hold me responsible if we don't come back to you with an update. UpperBanyangP II, this phase, as you're looking at it tomorrow, if this project is not realized, please hold me responsible. I will be the one taking your money. And I am going to police the UpperBanyang subdivision and this elite sitting here today. I think from the vibes that I have heard around, looking at what has been happening on the World Wide Web, I am very, 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 very satisfied because, as they always say, charity begins at home. And I have never seen a fundraiser that before we get to the fundraiser, funds have been raised. Give it up to the UpperBanyang people. It is our humble plea to call to your generosity to give them a hand to make sure that what they intend to raise, we can assist them in raising that money. So once more, thank everyone for coming. I would not move forward without recognizing the cultural group leaders that are in here. And I'm going to start by recognizing Chief Emmanuel Baye-Monday, the president of MECADIS in the house. I can see him smiling. I know MECADIS, he has some money. So I'll be clapping for you myself. I'll be looking for $1,000 from MECADIS. Are we ready to do that?
Yes!
Are we ready to hold MECADIS to that? Yes. I know all most members here are MECADIS, so that money is in the coffers. Looking around, I can see Dr. Emmanuel Enokpa, who is the newly minted president of the Bisongabang Family Group in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. Please give it up to Dr. Emmanuel Enokpa. I can, as I already introduced, Seseku Ojongoro, who is the president of Umojok subdivision. We want to thank the Umojok people for answering our call. Thank you, Seseku Ojongoro. And I can spot his vice president, who has just walked majestically and is sitting down right there in the back, in the person of Professor Kenneth Ojong. Give it up to Professor Kenneth Ojong. And I know the UpperBanyang people are very close to the Memphis Central people. And you can see the two people doing this fundraiser today are from Memphis Central. So I don't want to give it up without telling my brother, Chief Samuel Enchu from Memphis Central, give it up.
I'm here today because I really believe in the project. And I know you guys are doing something especially for the kids. Kevin mentioned that everybody here, we are all equally blessed in one way or the other, especially those of us that have jobs. We get a paycheck. So any amount absolutely is very, very, very appreciated. So it doesn't have to be $500 for table, 50 is just as good. It all adds up, and we really want to bring this project to pass. So I thank you guys even for the opportunity to chair this. And what we're going to do is we're going to call on the president of UpperBanyang, Ms. Patience Abini, to come and give a word before we go forward.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Tambe. NCMT. NCMT. Dear Chairman of the occasion, Dr. Nkwanyo, members of the High Table, good evening, Funds Council from the Northwest, special invitees, all UpperBanyang elements, and Manu, sons and daughters, friends of Manu, and well-wishers. I really want to take this opportunity to say thank you and welcome to this particular occasion for tonight. Without you, we cannot do it by ourselves. That's why we need all of you and all your support. I want to thank all the UpperBanyang members tremendously and sincerely from the bottom of my heart for the support that you've given me and my executive members to lead this organization to the point where we are today. I really want to say thank you to each and every one of you. You've been very, very supportive, very, very active, and very, very focused, despite the challenges that we faced within this past few years. As far as this project, I'm not going to say much about it because the project committee, the coordinator will elaborate more on that. But it suffices for me to say that I again want to give you guys a heartily thank you for the sacrifices financially, morally, that you've put towards this project. People put the best they could possibly do, despite the difficulties that we have financially. It's not only us, it's the economy. And people have gone out of their way for the first time within the UpperBanyang group to challenge themselves to accomplish more and more and more and more without complaining. So today we are here because you all decided that we have to do this and we are capable of doing it. We challenged ourselves to put money on the table up front towards this project, which every single member contributed a certain amount as a fundraising fee for this particular project. In addition to that, families, individuals came up with the idea of buying these tables, like the MC just said, reserving tables and paying $500, people paying $1,000. We've never seen that happen. So it's a new phase that we're getting into and we're taking it with two hands. Again, you see all of us wearing this uniform. We decided to do this as part of the fundraising, not only because we wanted to show our uniqueness and our oneness in purpose, but we decided to do this at this time to also use this as a fundraising tool towards this particular project, which means that we bought this and we sold it to our members to make at least $10, $15 more out of this from every member to generate additional money towards this project. So you see the sacrifices that even the members themselves have put towards this, because we really, really strongly feel that this is something that is worthy of support. And we are going to try the best we can with your support, that we help these children back home who need this amenity to foster their education even more. So without taking much of your time, let me seize this opportunity again to say to all the UpperBanyang members, say a big thank you to all of you, and I want to welcome all of you here today, and hopefully you will give the best you can towards this project. As the Bible tells you, like Jose Ayong just said, God loves a cheerful giver. And just have a great evening, have fun, feel comfortable, and let's do this together. Thank you and welcome.
Okay, most of you already know about the project, but there's some people in the house that probably need a little bit more information. So I'm gonna hand the microphone to the project committee so they can give you a little bit more information about what this is all about, okay?
Mchanti! Mchanti! UpperBanyang, are you? Great, great, great. I can hear your sound and feedback from you all. That's very good. My name is Solomon Agbo. I am the coordinator of the project that we're all here today to support. Thank you so very much for coming. I know it takes quite a lot of devotion to take off your time from your activities and come here to help us realize this project. I especially want to thank my mentor, Dr. Nkwanyo, for accepting our invitation to come and share this occasion. Again, we're here because we want to help young men and women, young people back in our area, UpperBanyang, particularly the GHS Tinto High School. So I'm going to give you a really rundown on what has been going on, so you probably have an idea on what the project's all about. A couple of months ago, we decided that we're brainstorming on what we really have to do to help these folks back there. So we had many ideas on the table. We talked and talked. As we're about to finalize what we should do as a project, we got a letter from the guys back home telling us that they badly need a lab at the Tinto High School. So oh, this is a great opportunity. Instead of us imposing on them, at least they're telling us what they need. And so, each time you tell somebody that I need this thing, they cherish it a little more than if the person had to come and impose on you. So we decided we're going to kick on this project. And that's exactly why we're here today. So for those who are not conversant with the UpperBanyang subdivision, I'm going to begin from there. Unfortunately, not everybody can see this slide here, but at least you can hear me. So the UpperBanyang subdivision is one of the 4 subdivisions that make up Mali division in the southwest region of Cameroon. It was created by presidential decree in 1992. And it's made up of 59 villages. The UpperBanyang subdivision is made up of 59 villages. And its headquarters is in Tinto, where the school is located. The UpperBanyang is very rich in natural resources. One of the richest, one of the produces in the UpperBanyang subdivision is timber. We are very much associated with timber production. For those of you who are interested in doing some business in timber, that's a place to go. If you get there, you'll be able to find something one way or the other on what you can do. We're not so big, but according to the census of 2005, we're approximately 27,000 inhabitants in the UpperBanyang subdivision. And women and men are almost equally divided. 14,000 and change for men, 13,000 for women. So you see, we try to make sure that we don't cheat the female sex. We're always, together. So the constituted body in UpperBanyang, the ruling body is Obagda, which is an extension of what we have here. The UpperBanyang Culture and Development Association. It was created back then. We just had a section of that association here that will be leading here all this while. So I'm going to talk a little bit about UpperBanyang here in Maryland. It's always very difficult to begin an association because it takes a lot. It takes your time, it takes a lot of resources. How do you get people to even buy into the idea of creating an association? Get interested in coming together. So we had about 8 folks who sat back and said, you know what, we have a good number here, we have an increasing number of elements from UpperBanyang subdivisions. Why don't we come together and form this association? So we had Siseko Elias Akpo, who is sitting right here. He's championed this organization from the beginning, from its inception. We used to gather maybe like 10, 15. Today our numbers have grown in leaps and bounds. But he was the father of this association. And the lady Atabi, the lady who gave us the nice prayer. Please, can you stand while I call your name so we can acknowledge your presence, please? This is Siseko Akpo. And the lady Atabi. Siseko Joseph, who is not here with us, you can also give an applause. Sister Joanna Singh, Mr. Muffin John is not here, don't see him. Okay, we're coming and Thomas Way. Mrs. Grace Akwa, who's been supporting her husband so much. Mr. Joseph Akwa, I don't see him around, I think he's on his way coming too. Miss Mary Ayuk, I don't see her, I think she's also coming too. So these are the guys who actually came together and said, okay, we're going to form this association to look after ourselves here, but also about the folks back home as well. Then the leadership of the association. So after the formation, I happened to be the first leader of the association. And thank you. So I did my best as much as I could for 4 years, and I left. And then we had Siseko Jean-Jacques, he's not here with us today, but he also did 4 years. Good work. And then right now we have Ms. Patience Bini, who started last year, and she's also did a wonderful job. So that's about Banda, Maryland. So let's talk a little bit about the high school in Tinto that we're all here for. This school was created by ministerial degree in 1992. As you know, it starts with the secondary school and then moves on to high school. So 7 years after that, it was upgraded to high school. Became GHS Tinto. It happens to be the only high school that serves the entire region of Upper Bayang. Remember the 59 villages that we have in Upper Bayang? We've had 2 very dedicated principals of that school. I actually had the chance to meet one of them and actually talk to him eyeball to eyeball, make sure that he was really dedicated to this project. He assured me that he's in this project 100%. You can't see here, but this is a cross-section of the Tinto, GHS Tinto Independence Day. See the girls marching. At least that brings you thinking about your own days when you were in secondary school, right? This is one of our dignitaries. Used to be the Minister of Mines and Power. He was cheering for the young lads marching past. This is the GHS Tinto choir. The girls are in action, as you can see there. For those of you who can see, they're doing their thing. So, about GHS Tinto, over the years we found that there has been a decrease in achievement. And this is because, essentially, there are no science labs right here at the school. And that's why we are here today, because what is highlighted in red, there is no science lab. And so what happens generally is that students come in after Form 5. What do? They leave the school and go to some other schools where they can continue their high school in the science subject. So there is a constant migration away from the school because of a lack of the science section in that school. So we thought, this is a clear need as long as the school is concerned. So we're faced with a challenge. The challenge is, what do we do? Clearly we know that the science labs are not just biology, chemistry, but they include physics and geology as well. The Upper Bayang Development Association here in Maryland and in the US decided to lead an initiative which is to provide science laboratories to these kids. But more importantly, what we're trying to do is we want to create GHS Tinto into a center of excellence in mathematics and science. Because we know very well, like Einstein told us, science refines everyday thinking. We got to think about it, because if you are, it doesn't matter what field of study you are, the fact is that you need some basic science education to move forward. So that's the truth. And so giving these kids that opportunity is very important to begin to build their, you know, their buttress the knowledge that they need going forward. So what we're doing here is that we want to create an environment that promotes the culture of learning and that enhances the talents and rewards success. It's not just going there and doing one thing and leaving. You know, we want to engage these folks. We want to create a culture where they have to be learning all the time. So it's important that we do that. So that's what we're trying to do here. That's our mission. So what are we going to do? We have a couple of things that we're going to do, because we're going to give in something and then expect something back. So we're looking at renovation. Since there's no lab, we have to renovate the place where the equipment have to actually go into. We're going to provide equipment, study materials, personnel, and scholastic awards. The best students will get these awards. So it's not just a one time and we throw it there and go back. No, it's an engagement. How do we engage them? How do we see the results that they bring? Because we have to come back and tell you that, you know, this is what your dollars is giving, that you give, is giving us back. And so we define certain expected outcomes. What do we expect? We expect that there will be an increase in graduating students, an increase in enrollment. Remember that the enrollment has dwindled over time. We expect that there will be an improvement in the grades to GC, ordinary level, and advanced level. We expect that the students will have to volunteer, go back and teach the others. Once they've had this, they should have the spirit of going back to teach others, to help the other fellow students that are coming to school. Then finally, we expect them to have a sense of pride, confidence, and accomplishment for what they've done. These are some of the outcomes that we're looking at quantifying if we're actually doing anything beneficial. So what can you do? We're calling for you as a sponsor today. We're calling for you as a philanthropist. You do not have to be Bill Gates. You don't have to have a whole ton of money to give. But whatever you give is important. It helps us in this effort. So being a philanthropist will be important, or a sponsor. So what do we do if you sponsor these kids? We want to tell you what you can get in return. So as a sponsor, we'll appreciate you by printing out your name and putting a plaque in the school, so that whenever you go to the city of Tinto, you'll have the privilege to go there and see your name against the wall and say, okay, this is my name, I contributed to this project. And then you probably have the key of the City Hall of Tinto whenever you get to the city of Tinto, we promise you. And then finally, don't forget that you can always file this and get some money back in your taxes. Right? So it's a win-win situation, as a matter of fact. You're happy that you're giving something, but you're also getting something as well. So let me leave you with these two proverbs. It's a Chinese proverb that says that we should not be content by simply causing the darkness. Rather, we should engage in the perennial fight to shine the candle. So that's what we're trying to do here. How do we shine the candle? At least our own small way, such that make a difference in the lives of young people. Then finally, the Kenyan proverb tells us that when spider webs unite, they can tie up even a lion. So it tells us about unity. How do we come together to realize this big project? That's also very important for our folks. So we're looking forward to having a very wonderful evening. We expect that you're going to pull from the generosity of your hearts to help us to support this project, and that we promise that we're going to be very transparent in the way we use the money, the funds that we have, that we're going to collect, and we're going to be able to give you feedback, and everything is going to be very transparent. We'll probably call you back in about a year or two to come back and say, look at what you did, and these are the fruits of our labor, collective labor here. So it's going to be a transparent project. It's going to be, you can rest assured that we'll make sure that no penny is spent in a way that you would not like it to be spent. Our targets, our outcomes are going to be totally attached to whatever amount of money, whatever input that we decide to make in this project. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for listening, and thank you very much for coming. I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.